Gabriel, or else he will never allow me to take his role again. Welcome everyone. What a wonderful start to our toasted year. A warm welcome and welcome back to our President Gabriel, our Exco and our existing members, and a very special welcome to our new members as well as to our guests and visitors this evening. We're really happy that you took the time to come this evening. I am standing in for the fabulous Leo, who is unable to be here today. His role is Sergeant at Arms. And the definition of Sergeant at Arms, I Googled it, an official of a legislative assembly whose duty includes maintaining order and security. So I am that person this evening. Some rules just to engage in terms of rules of engagement for our evening. Please rename yourself. There are 3 little dots in the top corner of your screen. You know, if you're a member, write toasted member, and if you're a guest, write guest, so we know exactly who's here. Please turn your microphone off when you are not speaking. It really gives everyone an opportunity who is speaking to have the attention and the silence that they need. We are active on social media. The evening is being recorded, and that is done for learning and publicity purposes. If you do not want to be appearing on any social media, please feel free to turn your camera off. And then the evening is always interactive. As you can see right from the onset, we love to talk, we love to engage, we love to bring everybody into this environment. Of course, when it's virtual, it's a little bit more challenging, but show support, raise your hands, give some waves, definitely give lovely comments to everyone who's speaking. As you know, public speaking, one of the biggest fears that most people face, and the whole idea is that we support them on this journey. So please do that in terms of everything else. And then the theme for this evening is the power of yes. And in preparation for tonight's theme, I thought to myself, how does that phrase make me feel? And I came up with all these amazing words. So it feels intentional and brave, confident, empowered, resilient and courageous, capable, compelling, dominant, dynamic, energetic, forceful, impressive, influential, persuasive, and commanding. And so, ladies and gentlemen, with the power of yes, I hand over to the wonderful, capable, and unbelievable President Gabriel.
Oh my God, Michelle, you know, you knock it. It's just each time she's firing from all cannons. So welcome all of you to this first meeting in the year 2022. It's only half year of the Toastmaster, but nevertheless, it's a new year which is starting. And I would like, number one, to start as well to welcome our guests which are here. We immediately, and let me just take my screen a little bit down. So we have here Iona. Iona, is that right? Did I say it right? She joins as a guest from Greece, which is just amazing how she found us. And Iona, yeah, just a few words, just some seconds, but please tell us who you are and yeah, you found us.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle. So I'm a Toastmaster in Greece in the Hellenic American Union Toastmasters Club. And I was just scrolling through the magazine of Toastmasters and I came across your club. I think it was first Verity, an article about Verity, and then the Toastmasters, the Toasted Club. And I thought it was a Monday meeting and I was so sad that I missed it and I would have to wait. But then someone replied, the team replied, and the meeting was today. So here I am. You're muted.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and so happy to have us with us, and I hope you enjoy the evening tremendously. And then I would like to speak to Kelly, who is the friend of Michaela. Michaela brought her in. Michaela is really always finding wonderful guests for us and her friends, best friends. So Kelly, just tell us just quickly what you do, who you are. You found us through Michaela.
Yeah, I heard about you through chatting to Mickey G, as I call her. I know she loves this place. And I am a financial advisor with the Hereford Group down here in Cape Town. I've just reached my year mark in my first corporate job. So I thought that, thank you, everyone. I do like to speak a lot, but I think there's a difference with public speaking and then just chatting rubbish, basically. Yeah.
Very wise words you said there. And you get a first chance tonight because we have something, Michaela, I'm sure he told you, that we have an impromptu speaking possibility. So whoever is strong enough and courageous can take part in that. And I can only advise or encourage you to do that later when we come to that point. Karen Ortlip.
Hello. I mute myself. Yes to all that. Hi, everyone. I am Karen. As I mentioned before, I've got a bit of a long story with Toasted. So I've been organizing and helping with TEDx events since 2012. And I think I was actually in the room when the conversation about creating a Toastmasters group specifically for TEDx was actually when the first conversation was had, because I know some of the TEDx folks that I was working with at the time were quite involved right at the very beginning. And so I know that it's shifted, moved away from the TED side of things now, but I think I was in the room when this first conversation was had. So yeah, really excited to be here. Thanks very much for the invitation and really excited to hear what you all have to do. My other story with Toastmasters is that I actually did a Toastmasters course when I was 12. I was in the Toastmasters, the first junior Toastmasters course in South Africa, which was a pilot project. And I credit that with setting me up for really my life now, which is as a speaker and presentation coach. So yeah, definitely Toastmasters has had a massive impact in my life, even though I haven't as an adult been part of the crew. So thanks.
Wonderful. And we hope we see you more often.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And not a guest, but not a guest is Louise, because Louise is a Toastmaster of another Toastmaster in Cape Town, and she's gently moving over to us. Welcome, Louise, tonight. And it's so nice to see you again. And yeah, not partying tonight together, but being serious and welcoming you on this platform. Yeah, would you like to quickly say a few words?
Thank you. Yes. Happy 2022, everybody. I was lucky enough to come to your December function, which was very festive and celebrating, I think was the theme. So the people that I met there, I don't want to repeat what I said, but yeah, I need to spice up my life, get out there in the workplace. I'm an entrepreneur, but I need to be able to speak more. I mean, I speak a lot. I need to be able to speak better and present myself. And I think this group will help me. My other group was lovely, but they're a great group, and sad to let them go, but it's time for a change. So thank you for letting me into your club.
Oh, welcome. Welcome. Wonderful. And I think all the dreams can be fulfilled if you stand up for them yourself as well. And we will hosting and holding all of those dreams together. And speaking about, and then I would like as well, a little bit belated, but happy birthday belated to you, Paul. You are such an important member of our group and so supportive, and you are so upbeat all the time. So happy birthday belated. It may be a wonderful year for you as well. And then I thought about 2022. Everybody says Happy New Year. And I thought, yeah, Toasted. Let me think about Toasted. And I give you a short story. I hope it stays short. Once upon a time, there were enthusiastic people standing on the shore, and they wanted to see the far, big, wide world. They all wanted to learn something. And there was a ship, and on that ship stood a big name. It says Toasted. They went to the captain and said, "Can we come on board?" "Sure," he said. "What do you bring? What cargo do you have?" And the people said, "We have bags of intentions." "Come on the ship," said the captain. "Let's sail." "And what shore? To what shore shall I take you?" And the people said, "There only is one shore we would like to see, and it's called growth and expansion." "Wonderful," said the captain. "I'm your captain. Let's sail." And they left the shores of this beautiful country, and they came into storms, and they were rolling over, and they were got sick, and then it was only a breeze. That was the next time. And then in the storm, they were crying. But when the breezes were coming, they were laughing. The metaphor for the storm and the breezes are our speeches. And then they sailed further and further. And then they realized the ribs were sailed. The sails were ripped and they had to mend them again. But they repaired them beautifully and pulled them up even stronger after evaluations. And then they heard noises down in the hull and they went down because their precious cargo was in danger. There were rats which were eating on the cargo. Negative mindsets. Some days they even has to use water buckets to empty the hull from waters of fear, which was swapping over, especially in those moments when they had to give impromptu speeches. And halfway over the ocean, they stood there and said, we have done half a year of the ocean. We have grown stronger. Let's look into the next half year being on the ocean. And they affirmed to each other their cargo. The one had brought courage, the other one had got bravery, the next one had got supporting others. There was so much beautiful cargo there. And they had grown stronger and they bonded together over those 6 months of those rolling waves, of those blasting storms, and of those wonderful breezes and ripped sails, which made them stronger after they had mended them. And then they said, what shall we do for the next 6 months? And the captain said, affirm your intentions. So we get to the shore, we get to growth and expansion. Yes, they said. Yes, and the power of yes made this wonderful crew who sat on this boat called Toasted sail the next half year into their growth and into their expansion. And if they haven't sunk, they will live forever. So that brings me to the next point, to speak a toast to a loyal toast to South Africa and her people. And I ask you all to please lift your glass. This is a kind of ceremony we do at Toastmasters and all over the world. So you can unmute yourself and say to South Africa and her people. To South Africa.
Thank you.
Now I would like to hand over to our wonderful Toastmaster of the evening, Claire van Zyl. Claire, welcome, and please may I hand over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Gabrielle, I think we needed to go to our esteemed colleague, Mr. Nicholas, because I believe he has some interesting
That's it. Thank you so
item
much.
to do.
You see, that is when the sail gets ripped and then somebody helps to mend it. So yeah, Nick, you will introduce our new member, Sophie Schmidt. And Sophie's so welcome. And this is now in Nick's hands, it's the induction.
Thank you, Gabrielle, and thank you, Claire, for the reminder. I would like to induct our new member. Her name here is Sophie Jones, but I know her as Sophie Smith because that's how she put in her application form. A little bit about Sophie Smith is that she's a writer. Sophie Jones is a writer, a comedian, and a producer from Cape Town with Mauritian roots. She studied theatre and performance at UCT and Wits. She has also written and produced award-winning plays. Some of you might have heard of them, The Flower Hunters, or Do You Dream in Colour, which is at the Baxter, or Eel, which is last year that she did at the National Arts Fest. She co-founded the storytelling event Raunchy Renditions, and more recently, a production company, Spark in the Dark. This is a production company that regularly hosts shows and workshops to foster a sense of connection through live entertainment. Beautiful photo of Sophie, which I scoured the internet for. So as a member of Toasted of Toastmasters International and Toasted Toastmasters. Sophie, can you please read the following, which is a promise? I promise. This is where you start reading.
Promise. Okay, as a member of Toastmasters International and Toast Ed Toastmasters, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare for all my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to willingly serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits of Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters education and recognition programs, and to act within the Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities.
Thank you. And we, the members of Toasted Toastmasters, pledge to support you in your quest for self-development. We will provide you with positive, helpful evaluations, maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere, and give you the opportunities to grow and to make your Toastmasters membership rewarding and fulfilling experience. May all the members unmute yourselves and give our promise to Sophie Jones by saying, I will.
I will.
I
will.
Woohoo! Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to it.
Now I will hand back to Claire, who is our Toast Madam for the evening.
Oh, Toast Madam. That conjures up some images, doesn't it? Not sure I'm that kind of madam. Welcome to everybody to the first Toastmasters meeting of this 2022. And I hope that you guys are so excited about this new fresh year. We get to create our new life for this new year. Our program, as many of you know, and for those of you who don't, if you visit any Toastmasters meeting around the world, you will find a very similar agenda, which is great because it means no matter where you go to visit, you feel at home. It's familiar. I just want to go quickly through the items of the agenda for our visitors. So John, if you could very quickly, we're running a little bit out of time, but very briefly explain the role of the counter for us, please.
Certainly. As the counter, I'm looking for filler words or crutch words like or. And one that I noticed that you use in South Africa, yeah, but that we don't use here in the United States. I'm also looking for word repeats and overused words like and, well, so, or but. Back to you, Claire.
Thank you very much. Then our grammarian and listener role. Now, you guys, just a hint is please pay attention to what everybody's saying because she's going to test us at the end of this meeting. Jenith, if you could please explain your role. Is she on? Oh, she's muted. There we go.
Unmute.
Sorry about that. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day today is winsome. Winsome is W-I-N-S-O-M-E. It is an adjective which means pleasing or cheerful. Winsome comes from Old English, which is win, spelled as W-Y-N-N, meaning joy or pleasure, which was altered, and spilling to win. An example for using the word is the politician's winsome personality makes him appealing to young and old voters alike. Madam Toastmaster. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Jenith. I think our Toastmasters members and our guests always have very winsome personalities and attitudes. Our next role is the timekeeper. If Vanya can please explain it for our guests and members, please.
Hi, everyone. Good evening and welcome new guests. I'm the timekeeper today, and as a timekeeper, I have a background that has a timer, and the screen will go green, yellow, and red as for the speakers to keep track of their time. 5 to 7 minutes is for prepared speeches, 2 to 3 minutes is for evaluation speeches, and 1 to 2 minutes is for impromptu speeches. Thank you, Claire.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So we'll move to keep on time. We'll move straight into our first evaluator, which is Michaela, who will be evaluating Robert O'Brien's presentation. Michaela, if you can give us the criteria, please.
Good evening, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toasties. Nice to see you all this evening. Tonight, I'll be evaluating Robert O'Brien. I'm trying to find you on my screen so I can say hello and look at your face directly. But this is his level 1 project 2, and essentially the purpose of his speech would be to apply everything, all the feedback that he has previously gotten from other speeches. Is also that it's important that he demonstrates and applies the feedback, but I said that already. As you can see, I haven't changed much from last year, hoping that that would kind of change. We're going to look for clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gestures, audience awareness, comfort level, interest, applied feedback. My Wi-Fi is so slow that I really wish I could open up the document to see what your title is. So please, Robert O'Brien, introduce yourself. I'd love to hear what your title is. Thank you and good luck.
So can I just check something, because on the agenda I've got that he's doing his icebreaker.
It is. My apologies.
Okay, it is his icebreaker. Okay, awesome. So I'd like to, if everybody can give a rousing round of applause and welcome to Robert O'Brien with his speech entitled Introduction to Robert O'Brien. Introduction to Robert O'Brien. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you, fellow Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toasties, fabulous Toasties. Thank you for the opportunity to present my icebreaker speech. I was trying to overcome my nerves with a glass of wine and some assistance from Nicholas earlier today. So my name is Robert O'Brien. I'm proudly Irish and South African, and I'm a dual citizen. I have a zest for life and a passion for people. In my professional work, I have a love for sales, as well as education and training. I joined Toastmasters on the recommendation of Heather Creswell, who told me that Verity was the best speaker in the world and I could learn enormously from her. And that serves my keenness to learn how to become an effective communicator and to speak well publicly. So who is Robert O'Brien? That is the question I asked myself when drafting this icebreaker speech. In terms of my name, Robert, I'm one of many Roberts that some of you may have heard of. The one that my father liked the most was Robert Francis Kennedy of the Kennedy political family. His great-grandfather and family lived only 6 miles away from my dad's family home in County Wexford, south of Ireland. My dad's second name is also Francis, so I think that also positively influences his thinking in christening me, Robert. Our surname also has some interesting history to it. Not everybody knows that the O in the Irish surnames stands for son of. So we are the sons of Brian Boru, who was King of Munster. Now, Brian loved a fight, like a lot of Irish. He was very good in battle and very, very strong in his strategy. a little bit of humor, and quite a little known ironic fact is that the Queen of England is descended from the O'Briens. I like the theme of this evening's meeting, the power of yes, because I love the idea of being spontaneous and saying yes for new opportunities and meeting for new friends. On a personal front, I live in Cape Town with my wife Lee, plus our 2 dogs and 5 cats. We have failed as foster parents a number of times. They come in, we say we'll care for them, we'll groom them for their long family home or their lifelong home, and a number of them have stayed. Lee and I have been married for 16 years this April. My stepdaughter Chantel has just turned 35. She lives here in Cape Town. My stepson Tyron is 32. He lives in Fort Lauderdale with his American wife, Cassie. So I think about some of that little South African thing where some are here and some are abroad, and we're torn between the two, and we love it here and the kids love it here, but some of them live abroad, and we're trying to work out how do we balance that love for here, love for kids, and spending time together. In my work, sales is my passion. It's been my career for 34 years. I started as a sales representative back in 1989 when I was 19. I've sold pool chemicals in Cape Town, life insurance in London, telecommunications in Joburg, skincare in Spain, and now I provide sales training and coaching here in South Africa. I love to connect with family, friends, and to meet new people. My hobby or sport, or they're kind of combined, my favorite sport and hobby to participate in is triathlons. Any of you that drive into Cape Town on Friday mornings and go under the bridge at the waterfront over the canals might see a whole crowd of us in our wetsuits swimming there between 6 and 7 a.m. It's one of the most exhilarating, magnificent things to do to start the Friday, which is a kind of early start to the work weekend. If any of you drive along Chapman's Peak or Noordhoek on Saturday mornings, you may well see us on our bikes doing our thing, smiling in a very happy place. I really enjoy the sense of camaraderie that comes with triathlons. We have everything from newbies when I first started to experienced people, but the sense of we're in this together and support and camaraderie is magnetic. I also enjoy the challenge that comes with being fit for all 3 of the disciplines, the swimming, the cycling, and the running. Especially the swimming. For an Irish person, that's quite a challenge. We didn't grow up with pools or warm water where we could swim. So currently or historically, I've participated as a social kind of fun participant along the theme of today's word. One day, I would like to win some. In conclusion, I love my adopted country, South Africa, as well as my born country, Ireland. I have an absolute enthusiasm for the people and for the potential of this country. And I would like for my legacy to be that I've contributed positively to life, to my friends, and that my work has helped salespeople and sales managers to become better at what they do. I thank you.
Wow, what a fantastic introduction. And for Sophie and yourself, love it. Love it being a foster parent failure. That is awesome. They are just too cute, and just letting go of them, I absolutely understand that. Well done. Thank you so much for your icebreaker. And if we were physically in the room with you, we would all give you a standing ovation for having done your icebreaker. We look forward to your next presentation, Robert.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. So our next evaluator is Gabrielle. If you can read the criteria for Richard's presentation, please.
Thank you, Madam Toast, Madam. Robert O'Brien is giving a second speech, or a third speech rather to say, but a second speech after he has been evaluated. And the purpose of that speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. And that is what he's doing today. So then he has to demonstrate that he has applied the feedback received from his first speech, and that is what he is going to do this evening. His path is innovative planning, level 1, project 1. Sorry, no, it's in the wrong. I'm in the wrong. Richard. Is persuasive influence, level 1, project 2, and his title is a very scientific analysis. Good luck to you, Richard.
So I'd like to welcome Richard Scholz with his presentation entitled Less is More, Richard Scholz.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. What if I offered all of you a new medical formula? It would offer you a younger complexion, more effective than a facelift. It would boost your HGH, human growth hormones, and stem cells. It would offer you weight loss. It'll cut high blood pressure, and it'll cure or put into remission type 2 diabetes. What if I told you this would cost you nothing, and it could probably save you hundreds of dollars on your grocery bill? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, today I want to share with you the 5 stages of a water fast and all its benefits. Fasting here is defined as water only. No milkshakes, no juices, no food, just H2O. So stage 1, I think you would all figure out right away, which is the first 12 hours. This stage is described as hungry, starving, blood sugar falling, loss of energy. But did you know that the brain uses 60% of all the glucose, even when you're asleep or if you're just sedentary? It's the brain that needs sugar, more importantly than the rest of you. So stage 2 is described in 12 to 24 hours. This is marked by ketosis. Now you all know about the keto diet. So in this, what happens is the blood sugar has fallen down, you're hungry, the triglycerides are all used up, and so now the liver taps the triglycerides from stored body fat, you know, that nice roll in your tummy? Oh, you can go for weeks on that. And what it does, it turns this fatty acid, this triglycerides into a fatty acids that can actually cross the brain-blood barrier. So the brain is happy, and you have now this new energy. The biggest hallmark of stage 2 is weight loss, and dieters love stage 2. Ketones also boost immunity, and it stimulates stem cell production. But here's the key. The body knows I'm going to be hungry, so it generates a BDNF, which is an appetite suppressant, but it also gives you, it's like a serotonin. It gives you a happy mood. You start feeling up and calm. Your mind gets sharper because it's not all buried in sugar. Stage 3, which is after 24 hours. Now autophagy starts. What in the world is autophagy? It comes from the Greek word, which means self-eating. Here's where the body goes around and it needs food. And it says, oh, you have some liver spots. We don't need that. Let's eat it. Oh, you have a brain tumor. Well, that's not welcome and certainly not useful. And it wasn't designed that way. So let's eat it. Oh, there's some cancer cells. Let's eat that. I kid you not. Tumors, cancer cells are actually absorbed, where the British medical institutes are tracking some of that research. So stage 4, the human growth, HGH, really spikes. Now, you know, athletes pay millions of dollars for these drugs like HGH because they want to build muscle, etc. Everybody will tell you, oh, if you don't eat for 72 hours, your muscles are going to waste away. Nonsense. Don't believe them for a second, because the HGH will actually build muscle, not lose it. So here you are, not eating, just drinking water, and the body has gone into crisis mode, which says, I need energy, I need a sharp mind, I need an immune system, I need muscles that work, because I have to find food. And if I don't find food, we're all in trouble. So HGA gets kicked up really high. Liver and pancreas works better. Most importantly, because your insulin levels, since you just living off this ketosis or ketones, your insulin levels go really, really level. And so for a type 2 diabetic or someone who's had insulin problems, since you're not putting in the sugar, that goes totally level and actually go in remission. The last stage is stage 5, 72 hours plus. Here the body has started eating all the old tumors, bad cells, replaced the cells, but now the stem cell, you know that thing they pay millions of dollars for in research, autoimmune, stem cell production goes off the scale. Within 72 hours, your whole immune system has regenerated itself. So for those of diseases, it's amazing. If you text me an email, I have all the supporting documents, but I'd like to encourage you, why not give your body a water break? Give it a chance to regenerate itself, rebuild itself, and it'll reward you with a brand new winsome you. Back to you, Claire.
Wow, what a fascinating presentation, Richard. I just don't know that anybody could live with me if I wasn't able to eat, because hangry was definitely invented to describe me when I don't get food. So very interesting. I must actually get the information, because wow, I didn't know all of that. Thank you very, very much. Our next evaluator is Nicholas Jackson, who will be evaluating Daniel's speech. If you can please give us the criteria.
Thank you, Claire. Good evening once again, everyone. I'm evaluating Daniel Hartless, our USA import, who's arrived in Cape Town safely. He did his previous icebreaker and speeches at his previous club. So now he's already on project 3, level 1, project 3. And the purpose of this project is to present a well-organized and well-researched speech on any topic. I believe he might be using some software to present it. So let's hear about a very scientific analysis on Daniel Hartless' speech.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well? And hopefully you can also see my...
Yes. Yes,
oh,
we
wonderful.
can.
So not to start off on a bad note, but I am actually not in Cape Town yet. I tested positive for COVID, so my flight and everything got delayed. I will hopefully be there very soon. And so I'm always looking forward to meeting everyone in person and seeing some of you guys. But so sadly, not quite there yet. But with no further ado, I'm Daniel Hartless, and this is, well, not a very scientific analysis. I decided to do my research on myself because, of course, everyone loves talking about themselves. And it's also a good opportunity for you guys to get to know a little bit more about me. Oh, no. Sorry. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry, I've got a little. All right. So my childhood is obviously when my life started. I was born in 1999 in Tampa, Florida. And that's a picture of me in the middle, really enjoying that popsicle, not sure how long I could go on fasting, and my two brothers. So those were my best friends because I was homeschooled for most of my life, up until the 7th or 8th grade. So most of my childhood, I was homeschooled, and my two best friends were my two brothers. I loved homeschooling because I love my parents. I have many wonderful memories of being in the yard, running around with my family, but we did move around a little bit. And since I didn't have school, I think I struggled a little bit socially as a young adult and a young person, but I really think that the homeschool environment gave me a wonderful baseline for learning. So I then went to high school, and I spent a little bit of middle school and then high school in regular public schools. This picture here is my little brother in the middle and my best friend Antonio when I did graduate high school. So I tried a lot of different things. I had a great time in high school. I made a few close friends, but I wasn't a very social person at all. Certainly would not have done anything like Toastmasters. So when I graduated high school, I decided that I wanted to study engineering. That's very technical. I was very good at math. And at the same time, it didn't involve a lot of interaction with people, so it sounded perfect. I went to the University of Florida, where we are the Gators, way down here in the South, although not as far south as you guys, but for America, very south. And my time in college was a very expansive experience for me. I became much more of a winsome person as I started to push myself socially in a lot of different ways. I worked with a variety of different clubs and made a lot of close friendships, really began to branch out and found that I'm actually an extremely extroverted person. Just being homeschooled, I was a little slower on developing those social skills than some people. I love speaking and presenting, and really hope to be able to blend that with my engineering skills and my degree in engineering to eventually be a go-to person on presenting and things like that within my company. And I think the other thing that really was important to me in college was learning, not only learning within my classes, but also learning in general. So the hallmark or the pinnacle of that was the fact that I wrote and self-published a book called Crushing College, just about the things that I had learned that help you to be successful as a college student. It was a very enjoyable and rewarding experience that I did partially for my little brother to be able to tell him some of the things that I did in college. And then this past summer was also very important in my life. It was the first time that I traveled extensively outside of the US. I had the opportunity to spend about half of the summer in Colombia, South America. I also did some humanitarian work while I was doing that. And that's really what finalized my trip, or my decision to do this trip to South Africa. So who am I now and what is important in Daniel's life? The first and foremost is Jesus. I'm a very strong Christian. It's very important to me to first receive that love from God and then hopefully be able to show it to other people. That's obviously a big part of why I'm going to be coming to Cape Town. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to be working at a nonprofit engineering company that supports missionaries and communities in the area. Second, I'm an engineer. This is the most stereotypical engineering picture I could find of myself, with crazy hair, an engineering shirt, and that is it's called the steel construction manual. It's joked as the engineer's Bible. I love designing things, and I do love my engineering. My friends and family are also incredibly important to me. As you can see here in these pictures, in the top left, that's a picture with a group of friends from school. The middle picture is people and friends from my church. On the right, just some close friends from high school and college. The bottom left was the group I went on the mission trip with, and that's us in Colombia, South America. And then the bottom right is my family. As you can see, about half of us have our eyes closed, and my little brother looks like James Bond. And another very important thing in my life is my girlfriend, Angela. If any of you guys heard my impromptu speech from several weeks ago, I talked about how I met her in Colombia. We've been dating now for a little bit over 6 months, and we got to spend this last month together here in the US. She got to be at my graduation, and we got to spend Christmas, New Year's together. So that was very wonderful. And she is amazing. She's a violinist. And I think the last very important thing in my life is that I'm always growing. I'm always changing. I'm always trying to become a better version of myself. I think we were put here on this earth to help people, and that's, you have to maximize your potential to be able to help people. So I do that through a lot of reading, which is something I enjoy very much, listening to audiobooks a lot of the times. And this is also why I want to learn to speak. I've had a few opportunities to do it, both at my job and on the mission field, and they're both incredibly wonderful growth experiences that I'm very much excited for. And I hope that this experience can help us with that, help me with that. And lastly, of course, I'm so excited to see all of you in Cape Town. I cannot wait to be there, hopefully in a week, Lord willing. And I really hope to meet some of you guys before the next in-person meeting. So if you'd love, I'd love if you reach out and talk to me. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Well done, Daniel. So lovely to hear more about you. And we look forward to actually meeting you in person when you arrive. So speedy recovery and get on the plane and fly to Cape Town.
Yes, well, thankfully I've had no symptoms, which is wonderful.
Awesome. Fantastic. That's the kind we like, the no symptoms. Our timekeeper, Vanya, if you can please give us the timekeeper's report.
Everyone was in time. Robert had 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Richard had 6 minutes and 42 seconds. And Daniel had 6 minutes and 19 seconds. Thanks, Jay.
Wonderful. And it means we are back on track. Yay! The Toastmasters' biggest job is trying to get us back on track. We are going to have an interval now, so you are welcome to go and refresh your drinks at your bar in your home, have a body break, and join us again. We'll be resuming at 19:28, so that's in 10 minutes from now.
And Exco, welcome back. Are we all here? Where is our Madam President? Fantastic. I loved all the chitter chatter earlier. Amazing.
Our president seems to have fallen off somewhere.
I think she'll be back. Let me hand over to you, Claire. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Lovely start to our meeting for this year. Amazing information shared, getting to know our new members, just absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for all that preparation that you guys have done. So I have a little bit of time, so I can talk about the power of yes. Who would be really excited if I said you never had to make a decision ever again? Anybody? Oh, we have a couple of hands. We have a couple of hands. So you see, the thing is, if you don't make a decision or don't take action, that's actually a choice too. The only thing is, you have no control over which way your boat's going to go. So do you really want to give your power away to somebody else to make the decisions for you? Perhaps not. Eleanor Roosevelt said, never allow a person to tell you no if that person doesn't have the power to say yes. I think she was a very wise woman. But how often in life do we allow people to tell us what we can and can't do? Try to limit our options, try to influence our decisions. Best to keep the power of yes well within your grasp and in your hands, because at the end of life, the outcomes and the way your journey has progressed, you want to be in control of that. So we have the power in any moment to say yes or no, but actually in that moment, we're saying yes and we're saying no. So let's make sure we're saying yes to what we want and no to the things that don't serve us, that aren't in our best interests. So who's now wanting to give their power away? Anybody? Nah, those hands are gone down. Yay. Our next portion of our meeting is the evaluation of the speeches. So the first evaluator is Michaela. If you can please give us the evaluation of Robert's presentation.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Alrighty, Robert O'Brien. First things first, I must apologize for my introduction. Turns out I need my glasses a lot more than what I thought. But in any case, it seemed that you had already gotten an evaluation and you applied everything because you spoke so well, and just the way you unpacked your speech was just really well done. How you started off with a summary of yourself, and then from there you broke it down further, which was, I thought, was a really clever way to do it. So it kind of just kept us like flowing nicely and going forth. It was really interesting, and you held a lot of eye contact, which was great. Especially when it comes to Zoom, it's just hard to sometimes know where to look. So it'll be great to see you in person. It was, like I said, it was easy to follow. You had a good vocal variety. If anything, your lifestyle sounds absolutely winsome. Perhaps you even would be keen to join our cold morning swims with Gabrielle and Vanya and I. So yeah, I mean, in terms of a general feedback, when it comes to doing gestures and everything and presenting yourself, and it's a bit hard on Zoom, but moving from foot to foot, I don't know if you were standing or sitting, but there were times where you're shuffling, and that kind of portrays a little bit of nerves. I mean, it's natural to have nerves. I'm literally, I just got this new watch and it's telling me to just calm my stress levels. So that's going to be an interesting phase through Toastmasters, but it kind of portrays that. And then sometimes the audience stops listening as much. So perhaps just stay still, because I mean, you were doing actions with your hands and everything. You were using your whole screen, which was really well done. And then perhaps just as a suggestion to add in some humor, because your name is very Irish. So if you started off with a good old Paddy's accent and then all of a sudden changed it up, it would have like got us hooked a little bit more. But otherwise, overall, really well done. And I will send you all my notes via email.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Michaela. Our next evaluation is by Gabrielle. Has Gabrielle returned? Yes, she has. Yay. Gabrielle, if you can please evaluate, give us the evaluation for Richard's presentation.
Yeah, sorry as well about giving the wrong title, but it was on the agenda for me like that. So yeah, Richard, I must say your speech had everything. It was entertaining, it was informative, it was educational, it was motivational, and it persuaded many of us, maybe not so many, but it persuaded me to try it at some stage. So you had a good opening, which was really attractive. I'm sure we will, we will think twice now whether we spend so much money at the plastic surgeon or at the youth rejuvenation institution to have a fast at least for 72 hours is a possibility. Is definitely, if one takes it serious, is a possibility. I liked very much how you used the whiteboard in the background to explain how all these things fit together. But on the same time, with all this wonderful information you gave us, it's a little bit overwhelming. So I thought it's better we book a session with you personally as well to get all these details into our heads and maybe our lives. But it is absolutely amazing how much you shared there and how deep your knowledge is. It's just a little bit too much. And I would suggest in this case, why not adding some, besides the information, why not loosen it up with a little bit of personal stories, or tell us why you came to this subject to explore it so deeply. That brings some more lightness into it, and it makes it as well very attractive to see what made you perhaps want to lose weight, what made you go into such depth of exploring a theme. Then I liked as well, you used gestures and you used your hands. That was wonderful. You had a tonal variety or vocal variety, which made it for the listener as well very easy to following you. And then as well, something maybe you might want to improve there is your eye contact. You looked a little bit too much down onto your papers. I would suggest that you exercise or practice in front of a mirror, or you take your video camera and you record yourself, so that the next time the whole wonderful and impressive presentation comes over as a full person, and not so much with looking for the information. So all in all, in summary, a very well chosen subject, which is interesting. And then as well, I like that you, in the end, in the beginning, you showed us how much one can do without paying too much money for losing weight, or HGH or HDA, all these little tricks one can change. But then you offered in the end that we could come to you and you would explain that. And so with all this overwhelming information, on the other hand, you invited the one who's interested to sit down with you, and in the finish of the speech, opened the door to spend some time and get to know more about it. So I really liked this talk, and thank you very much. You are always giving very interesting talks. Please keep that up, but at a little bit of personal note and storytelling into it, and it will be just amazing for the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Gabrielle. Amazing feedback as always from our evaluators. Our third evaluator is Nicholas, who will be evaluating Daniel's speech.
Good evening once again, members and guests, and most importantly, Daniel. Daniel, the title of your speech was a very scientific analysis, and your project was research. So I thought, he's really going to get into the engineering and the nitty-gritty parts of what it is about the research he was going to do. And then you said, I researched myself. And then it landed, oh, okay, it was a joke. So you could have driven that as an introduction a bit more, which would have really grabbed our attention. You said, I'm going to give you this amazing, very scientific analysis about myself. Something like that. Skip the informalities, and everyone's heard about COVID, everyone's been positive, no one's interested. We want to hear about you and your speech. I love the way you used the idea of an icebreaker, which none of us, we haven't done to this club, and then the idea of using presentation skills and presenting yourself. That was very well done, and all the slides were chosen with thought. It flowed nicely. You spoke without even knowing you had the triad. So you spoke about your homeschooling when you were younger. You spoke about when you're in high school and then university, and how in each stage of your life you had a problem about not anxiety, but not being social, which you identified. And this was a nice thread to say, it is my problem and my solution is Toastmasters, and that's why I'm here. Another place you could have used the triad is you spoke about the things that were important to you. So you could have said, Jesus is important to me, and that's my spiritual Bible. Then you could have said, engineering is important to me, and that's my engineering Bible. And then you could have said, Angela is important to me, and she's my love Bible. And that it sounded like you had it right there, but you just didn't crush it. Just like you did with your book, Crushing College, which is an alliteration. So well done there. In conclusion, I'd love to see a speech where we see you are clearly spoken, naturally spoken, no ums and ahs. It would be nice to see some gestures. It would be nice to see you standing, which is something that we don't do enough as speakers. And it would be nice to see some body language and the use of tone in your next speech. So looking forward to that.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Even when we're not speaking, we learn so much through the speeches that are presented and the evaluation that is given to our presenters. So it's always a learning experience. Thank you very much to our evaluators. Vanya, if you could please give us the timekeeper's report.
Okay. Michaela had 1 minute and 74 seconds. Gabrielle was a little bit over time with 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And Nicholas had 2 minutes and 48 seconds.
Thank you very much, Vanya. So you should all have seen the pop-up now count about the best evaluator of this evening. If you could please vote. And then Nick is also going to share the best prepared speech. If you can please vote for that as well. So I have cast my vote or votes. And welcome to Nolo, who has just joined us. Welcome, welcome. We are now going to have a video around our darling Verity, our world champion of public speaking. Where is our lovely Verity? There she is.
I'm here.
Awesome.
There's a story of a man who was desperate to win the lottery. So every Saturday night he would pray, please, Lord, please, please let me win the lottery tonight. And every Saturday he wouldn't win. And the following Saturday he would pray again. Please, 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 Lord, please let this tonight be the night I'll win the lottery. But he didn't win. Eventually one Saturday night, out of frustration, he went, why, Lord, why am I never winning the lottery? And a voice from above said, you might want to buy a ticket. I am Verity, the 2021 World Champion of Public Speaking, and I am only able to say that I have that title because in March of this year, I bought a ticket. I entered the International Speech Contest. I backed my dream of seeing how far I could take a speech, and it paid off. But there's been many years as a member of Toastmasters where I didn't enter the contests. And every year I would watch and I'd go, I wonder if I could have won. Now, I can tell you, there's nothing worse than going, what could I have done? It is much better to be able to find out what you can do and what you have done by putting your name in the hat, by buying a ticket and by signing up. So I just want to say to you tonight that even if you're new to Toastmasters, even if you think about contests as this scary thing, I have discovered that it's not about winning. It's amazing if you do win, but it's actually about showing up. And the real growth in contests for me over the last 10 years of entering contests have come from pushing myself, from stretching my abilities, from trying new things and discovering what I am capable of. And I've seen it do that for everyone who enters a contest, even if you only go as far as your club level. Just saying, you know what? I'm going to see what kind of speech I can write. I'm going to see how I can deliver it differently and maybe with more energy than I do at a normal meeting. That is going to grow you. So I am standing here today as a speaker who has grown because of contests, because I put my name in the hat, I bought my tickets, and this year I won the proverbial Toastmasters lottery. But even if I hadn't, I know I would be a better speaker and a more developed person as a result of entering the contests. So I really hope that as a club, you will encourage each other to step up, speak up, and discover just what you are capable of. After all, if you want to win anything, you need to buy a ticket.
Absolutely. The power of saying yes. Verity, would you like to share some other thoughts with us?
Yes, thanks, Claire. I don't know how delayed that was for all of you, but it was very funny watching it for me. And just, I'm doing so many talks at the moment that's how lazy I am. I'm just letting you watch videos rather than doing it twice. But I was really sitting here thinking about this amazing club, and we've got a lot of new members. And so this is not about us going, does Toasted have the next world champion? It's just, do we have people who champion themselves? And we've got 3 contests coming up, not just prepared speaking. There's impromptu, which we're going to be doing soon. There's evaluations, which we just saw, and there's prepared speaking. So there's 2 separate contests that members can enter. And for impromptu, anyone can enter. You can have just joined Toastmasters and entered and just have fun at the club level, and someone will go through to represent us at the next level. Evaluations,
an incredible opportunity to practice giving feedback. And I'm going to put on our Toasted group a link to an evaluations workshop I did that all the members can watch and learn from in preparation for that contest. So again, it's not about winning, it's about growing. And then in March, when we do the prepared contest, I really hope that everyone who's done a level 2 and above enters. That means it's a fun evening. I've got even Dominic says, please enter everyone. And it's going to be such a fun evening where we get together, we share our stories, we inspire each other, and 1 or 2 of our members will go through to the next level. And because I'm a member of this club, I will be coaching and helping those members to shine. I mean, I would love us to get all the way to district and who knows, all the way to the finals. But I just want to encourage everyone in Toasted to say yes to the contest so that we have an amazing club contest. Buy your tickets. Those are my thoughts. Mwah.
What's that? What's that?
That's Toasted. Say hi, everyone.
Hello. Thank you very much, Verity and Dominic. Yes, it is an amazing journey to just enter and grow. That is how we grow, is by actually getting involved, by giving it a go. And you never know where you will end up. So we've in the chat, we've also got the link to sign up for the contest. Please click on that and sign up for the contest that you're interested in getting involved in. And yes, let's make it a fantastic evening of contestants. Now we move to the opportunity to practice speaking extemporaneously, meaning without preparation. Our table topics Madam Mistress is Nolu. Nolu, if you could please unmute yourself and tell us what you have in store for us.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My apologies, I ran late and there was everything that was going on. Anyway, I'll be doing table topics for tonight with the power of yes. And I've got 10 of them, which is, the first one says, what does it take for you to say yes? The second one says,
please raise your hand and then we can give you the topic. So if you can just, someone raise your hand and then Nolu will give you your topic.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Ayona says she's,
So Nolu, could you please give Paul the topic again?
Which number would he pick from 1 to 10?
Well, you can give me 1, it's fine. I like to win.
Okay. What does it take for you to say yes?
Well, that's a very nice and important question. I would say I look first of all from the no to the yes, because it's not,
You've muted yourself, Paul.
Let me start again. Okay. It's important to say more no in life than yes, because if you say too much yes in your life, you're burnt. You will burn yourself, you will burn your relationship. And to say yes, it's only when you really thought about a yes that you can say yes. And I think we have to learn to say more no than yes, because we want to please too much people. We want to please other people, and we don't like to say no. And to say yes, I think I know tonight is the topic of the yes, but I would go for the no, to protect yourself, to give a better yes in what you really believe that you want to do, in what you really believe where your heart is, and what you want to do and what you send for yourself into your life. So keep your yes for the important things in your life, but please try to say much more no than yes. And that's my answer, Madam Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you.
Iona was the next one who was interested in speaking.
Can I choose a number?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so let's go with number 7.
Why do we say yes?
There are many reasons to say yes to something or to someone. I was a person that was usually saying no to things, no to new experiences. However, I realized recently that we need to say yes to get out of our comfort zone and to grow. I don't only call it personal development or personal growth, I call it personal expansion, because saying yes to a new experience, like the contest of Toastmasters, will help us get to our goal faster, together, in this beautiful group of Toastmasters International, and actually make quantum leaps to our personal expansion. So I do say yes to the contest and so many other beautiful experiences. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Yay. Anyone would like to go next?
Alex had his hand up first, and then Sophie.
Number 9, please.
What has yes done for you?
Which one of you have watched the hilarious movie of Jim Carrey, Yes Man? Raise your hand, please. I love this movie and I've watched it so many times. And, you know, when he gets out of this seminar and like he promised to say yes and he starts saying yes to the homeless guy and giving his money and all the problems that starts to appear, makes us think, like the previous speaker said, that we should say no more often, right? But if you think about it, what does the movie teaches us after that? That by saying yes to learning Korean, to, of course, to marrying a Persian woman, he has so many issues that appears, but he also finds true love. He also discovers his deep joy and fulfillment. So I can tell you, everyone, that yes, saying yes has changed my life in many ways. 3 main ways. First one, saying yes to my wife, saying yes to God, saying yes to a spiritual union has brought me a family, 2 kids, and a strong source of love and passion, a fortress for well-being. Second, saying yes to quit my very well-paid job in a Fortune 100 company to become an entrepreneur and go to a roller coaster, baby, was a strong yes that has come with many times the desire to say no, but has stuck. I managed to stick to it. And third one, it's what I say yes every day to find myself, to look for a magnificent state, to play full out. And as I look into your eyes today, I also see the full moon in the back. And I don't know much about it, but I just feel like we should all be playing full out and saying yes more often. Thank you.
Yay.
Can I ask, is there a time limit we should, like, is it a minute?
Yes, the time is 1 to 2 minutes.
Perfect. I'll pick number 4, please, Nolu.
The step of faith with yes.
It was raining, and I was standing on the side of the road. I stuck my thumb out on the hot tropical island of Mauritius, where it's safe to hitchhike for women, and hoped that someone would say yes. The first 2 people to slow their cars were creepy old men, and I wished they'd said no. I said no. But then a couple stopped in a small car and I hopped in. They were Russian. He had quit his job as a lawyer in Moscow to become a magician and escape to a tropical island. She had met him on Tinder and she'd said yes. As we drove down the road, I mentioned that I played guitar and they mentioned they were desperate for circus performers to join their circus, which currently had 3 people. I said yes. I lived on the other side of the island, so I decided to move in with them and the 3rd Chilean juggler. And after hitchhiking on a lonely, rainy afternoon, at 18, on my gap year, I had officially run away with the circus. Say yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Who would like to go next?
Me, please.
Michaela.
If someone hasn't gone with their hands up before me.
Which number would
can
you
I have
like,
number
please?
3, please? Number 3, please.
Okay. The situation that took you out of your comfort zone to say yes.
Always go lucky, number 3. It seems to somehow always relate. So for those of you who don't know, I'm originally from Johannesburg. And there was a program on ETV called Tube, I think it was. He would walk away in the distance and say, goodbye, goodbye. And I fell in love with this green alien looking thing and I thought he was just fantastic. So when it came to the East Rand show, bear in mind, I was dubbed the Velcro Kid. I was unbearably shy. I would hide behind my mum, say no to everything in sight, something which really infuriated my dad, only because every time I wanted to go into the jungle gym, I'd wait until all the kids were off. Until they were off, I would then ask, please, can you come play with me? That is how shy I was. My invisible friend was my best friend and my favorite teddy was Checkers. But on this day at the East Rand show was probably the scariest moment that my dad threw me into the deep end. We were sitting and watching the alien on the stage and he was doing his thing and calling up kids, all these confident kids running up to dance and have a great time with him. I was perfectly fine watching from afar. Then it came to another dance competition. And all of a sudden, my dad was raising my hand in the air and I couldn't believe it. At 3 years old, I was trying to pull it down. I couldn't believe it. And the alien chose me. Off I went, about to burst into tears, begging not to go, begging everything in me. Dad didn't hear any of it. On stage, there's now a photo framed of me, and I think that's the first time I said yes to faith, even though it was nudged on a bit. It truly broke my confidence. There's a photo of me dancing away, spinning around. It was probably one of the greatest memories of me being a little kid at 3. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and fellow guests.
Excellent. Well done, Nolu. That is such a fantastic array of topics. And thank you to everybody for participating. And there is our poll. If you could please vote for the best impromptu speaker. I have cast my vote. Our lovely timekeeper, Vanya, if you can give us the timekeeper's report for the impromptu speeches.
Sorry, I just put my phone in. I really enjoyed this. This was really fun to hear all these table topics. And Nolu, I really loved the topics. Paul had 1 minute. Iona, did I say it right? It had 1 minute and 5 seconds. Alex had 1 minute and 85 seconds. Sophie had 1 minute and 3 seconds, and Michaela had 2 minutes.
Excellent. Everybody was in time. If it was a contest, you all would have gone through. Well done. Then to our grammarian and listener, I hope you guys have been listening properly because Jen's going to test us.
Hi, all speeches are really good to listen. And though, because I'm not an English native speaker, so I can hardly hear or understand some of the words, though I find quite a bit. Those who use the word of the day today is Robert O'Brien. Congratulations. Richard, Claire, and Daniel. Congratulations to you four. And here are the words that I find it. I like them. I like these words, like ketones boost immunity. And who said this? Anybody else? Did anybody listen?
Richard.
Richard.
Thank you, Claire, and other guys who participated. And who said love from God and show it to people?
Daniel.
Sophie?
Daniel.
Daniel.
That's right. And who said look forward to magnificent day?
Alex.
Yes, Alex. Tiger Nick. And what's my title? No. And who said it's about winning, but it's not. It's not about winning, but it's about growing.
Verity.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Janet.
Thank
Our
you.
next role is John with the R's.
The following people were winsomely clear of all filler words: Michelle, Yona, Janet, Paul, and Dominic. Gabrielle, you had 5 repeats and 18 ums. Kelly, you had 1 you know and 1 ya. Karen, 1 1 and so, and 2 yas. Louise, 1 yeah. Nick, you had 1 repeat and 2 ums. Sophie, 1 and 1 repeat. Claire, 3 repeats and 1 Janet, 2 3 repeats. Vanya, 2 Michaela, it was interesting. You had 8 1 repeat, and 3 in your evaluation, but on your impromptu speaking, you only had 1 Robert, you had 1 repeat, 3 and 1 Richard, 3 4 repeats, 1 you know. Daniel, you had 1 well, 1 oh no, 2 sorries, 6 repeats, 3 and 3 so's. Verity, because you're the champion, I was listening so closely for anything I could catch you on, and you had 2 minor repeats. Nolo, 3 and that's it. Thank you, everyone.
Excellent. Thank you very much, John. It's interesting when somebody really listens to us, what we actually use, and our politicians should come to Toastmasters. So I've enjoyed my role as Toastmaster of the evening, and I'd like to encourage you to think, if you worry about saying yes, there's a quote that says, worry doesn't empty tomorrow of its troubles. It empties today of its strength. So I want to encourage you to think carefully about what everybody shared around their views on saying yes and when to say no. And take the time to think about it for yourself. Say yes to those things that are going to help you grow, that are going to put some of those limiting beliefs away and step into your courage and out of your comfort zone. Grow. this year is an amazing opportunity to grow. And yes, opens a lot of doors. It's surrounded by positivity, whereas no, closes some doors. So we want to have those opportunities blossoming. Think about it. Figure out what is most important for you to say yes to, the things that will help you grow in all your areas of life: health, lifestyle, business, career, your relationships, your families. What will help those grow and blossom? And say yes to those things. And think carefully about the no. There's also a quote by Byron Katie that says a dishonest yes is actually a no to yourself. So that's a little cautionary quote. Thank you very much to everybody who participated, all the speakers, the evaluators, the impromptu speakers, and the role fulfillers, because without that, we wouldn't have a meeting. And thank you very much for being here and sharing this evening with us. I would now like to hand over to our president, Gabrielle, to close the meeting.
Thank you so much, Claire. You always bring such value. Your background, your profession is the same what you're saying. You walk your talk. You are so positive. You are a yes sayer. And I thank you so much. We thank you all for being a wonderful, wonderful toast mistress, master tonight. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. I agree fully with you that this evening, and what I see in all the comments, and Verity as well, writing here all the time, what wonderful contributions we had this evening, how wonderful role players we had, how beautiful quotes we have heard, how beautiful stories, speeches we have heard. Thank you to all of you for being such an important part of a successful evening at Toastmasters or Toasted. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's always a great pleasure just to listen and then to go away with so much value and so much thought. We can always come out of those meetings. Our next meeting will be on the 1st of February, and it will be the contest evening. And there is no doubt that we will have a lot of impromptu speakers. I hope we have enough evaluators as well. And it will be so wonderful to see you all again there. The guests can't, I suppose, I don't know, but the guests can't take part, but I think new members already can then come and take part in the contest. Talking about the guests, I would like to come back to our guests. And is anybody of you, without me pointing out, who would you like to say something, how you enjoyed this evening, whether it made you want to become a speaker as well? What is going on in your heart? What is going on in your mind? Who would like to speak?
Alex has his hand up.
Yeah, Alex.
Yes, I'm definitely going to become a member this week and will be competing in 2 weeks with you guys. And I just wanted to appreciate two outstanding qualities that I've seen tonight in your club that I decided to join. About 10 years ago, in 2011, I was managing a team in a corporation, and I had an Italian and a Japanese girl in each side of myself. And as you can imagine, there was a bit of tension and conflict, you know, in terms of the expectation to hug all the time and talk, and the expectation to just stick to your email, as you can imagine, from both culture. And, you know, research actually says that when Italians speak to each other, there is 80% overlapping. They speak 80% at the same time, while in Japanese culture, you have more than 50% silence in between speakers. So you can imagine the challenge. And what I've seen tonight is actually a bit of Italian and Japanese strengths, because I've seen an amazing agenda, so structured with timing and respecting the procedures and process and giving space to each other. But I have also seen 20 people with a video turned on and nodding, and the physiology of an Italian interaction at the same time. So well done, guys.
Thank you, Alex. That's so wonderful what you said, and it's so appreciated that you will come and be with us. And you will be a wonderful, supportive member and an awesome new member. Thank you so much. And I saw Robert has raised his hand. Please, Robert, would you like to contribute something? And I just want to say I'm very impressed that the Queen can lead her roots back to your family. So you are a very dignified person here, I see. Yes, please.
No, not me, just the history, which is quite ironic. So I was looking at my notes. Heather referred me to Toasted back in October 2020. I sent my first email to, I think, Nicholas to inquire about joining, and then I signed the forms in January 2021. So it kind of warms my heart in a humble ways. The interesting thing about the human psyche, to have a desire to learn how to speak publicly, but then kind of make an effort and then still sit in the sidelines for so long. I feel like I kind of signed up for this acting school, and then I sat behind the curtain on the side for like well over a year. So my heart is warm that I broke through the fear, and I've finally got around to doing my icebreaker speech. So thank you all for your support. Nicholas,
thank you, Robert.
You've all been very awesome. It's been a very special, for me to see the enthusiasm, and just makes this whole Toastmaster thing so obviously very, very special.
Thank you for saying that. And we waited long for you and patiently, and it's so wonderful to have you. Thank you, thank you. And Iona, I find it so rewarding that you said you will come back to the contest. So you must have enjoyed the evening, and thank you for speaking tonight in Table Topics. That was just wonderful. So you're brave and and so refreshing. So please tell us what makes you want to come back for the contest.
So I always seek the settled energy of a group. And once I checked out the website, I felt a nudge to come and take a peek. And from the beginning, when I entered this space, this virtual space, I had a warm welcome. The energy, the vibe is high and very friendly, very warm. And I'm not talking about the temperature in South Africa. It's warm on its own. And it's wonderful. I am thinking either way of becoming a member in another club, still apart from my club. And I think that if you accept people from another country and you're going to still be virtual, I think I'm going to be joining.
Can you see your hugs? And the champion hugs as well. Look at that, everybody is on board, and she's here, Verity. Yeah, thank you, Iona. That's so nice of you to say. We would be so delighted and so happy to have you. Thank you. Kelly.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me here. It was really lovely to meet all of you, and I can just feel your love and your genuineness through the screen. It's crazy how we're all so far away and everything's so hectic, but we can still so bond through the screen. I think I would love to come back, maybe if there's another visitor session or something like that, but so far it was very enjoyable. Thank you all.
Thank you, Kelly. It's wonderful to have you with us. And Karen?
Hi, everyone. Sure, what an awesome way to end a Tuesday. It's Tuesday today, right? All day, I think. So thank you. Thanks for the energy. Thanks for the vibe. And it was really fun to hear everyone's talks. And I think one of the things that really struck me is the learning that comes from listening to people's conversations. You know, I mean, water fasting is not something I would have talked about or thought about today, but now I've walked away with a whole lot of information and some research to do. So thank you guys, and really appreciate all the sharing and the conversation. And I'll be in touch with Verity around connecting in as and when, I suppose.
Thank you.
Bye.
So positive again. Michaela, you had your hand raised, or was it by mistake?
No, I was cheering.
Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, we can really cheer. It was a most amazing evening. And the next, there is not much to add to, because the next time there is the contest, and that's the only thing which we're looking at. Yeah, that is the only thing we can look at and look forward to and be excited. And everywhere I find that one poem or quote from Eric Hansen valuable, which I always put at the end. And before we do the awards time, there's freedom waiting for you on the breezes of the sky. And you ask, what if I fall? Oh, but darling, what if you fly? And that is for all the ones who want to take part in the contest. Now it's awards time, very important. And you can unmute yourself for the big drum roll. Table topic.
Go, Sophie!
Wonderful. Next one, best evaluator, Nicholas Jackson.
Yoo-hoo! Well done, Nick.
Well done, Nick. Best speaker, Robert O'Brien.
Irishman, Irishman.
Worth the wait.
Look at that.
A whole year later. Amazing.
Don't make us wait another year. We
No,
know what
please,
to do now.
please. You've set the bar high now, Robert.
Oh, God. Robert, the sunny boy of Toasted. Huh?
Yeah. I
Amazing.
feel everyone's a winner tonight, though. This was just an incredible evening. Wow, wow,
We
wow.
started the year very well, and our ship sailing onto the new horizon, which is such confidence and growth and expansion for everybody. So let's carry on, and we see you on the 1st of February at 6:30. Super. Thank you very much, and lots of love to you.